Coming up on Around San Diego, Iranians living here in San Diego react to the conflict unfolding in their home country. Plus, all U.S. military bases are now on high alert. What to expect now that increased security measures are in place. And San Diego Unified is cutting more than 200 jobs. We'll tell you who is affected. Hello and welcome. So glad you're joining us as we take you around San Diego. I'm News 8's Jenny Day. I'll get you caught up on our top stories of the week so far, and we'll also look ahead at what's to come around San Diego. You know it, San Diego is home to a large Iranian community, many of whom are supporting the recent U.S. strikes on Iran. We spoke with a UC San Diego graduate student born and raised in Iran who said she and her family are now hopeful about the country's future. Nahal Lafti left Iran in 2021 to pursue her education. Most of her family and friends still live in Iran. They are among the many who are supporting President Trump's actions. When asked about opposing views, Nahal said that she respects different opinions, but had this to say about the supreme leader.
To his point of view, if you oppose him, you're opposing God and you have to be killed. That's why so many people were happy, because so many people lost their loved ones because of him, in addition to losing many of their basic rights.
White House says the strikes were necessary to eliminate an imminent threat and destroy Iran's missile and naval capabilities, but independent analysts and some lawmakers note the administration has offered limited evidence supporting that claim. And a San Diego-based aircraft carrier, the USS Abraham Lincoln, played an important role in the coordinated operation against Iran. News 8's Steffi Roche spoke with a military expert about the ship and the significance it has in the Pacific Fleet.
The USS Abraham Lincoln, which is home ported at Naval Air Station North Island in San Diego, has been positioned in the Arabian Sea for weeks. The military releasing this footage of aircraft taking off from the flight deck as part of the U.S.-Israeli strikes on Iran.
Well, this is a long-time tradition between the Chargers and the Navy.
I toured the ship with the LA Chargers back in July in celebration of the Navy's 250th birthday. It's a nuclear-powered vessel known for its role in various operations, including support for Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan and Operation Southern Watch. The Lincoln is providing a mobile airfield for U.S. Navy and Marine Corps aircraft supporting this mission.
Got about 70, 75 aircraft of different types on there. It's a floating city. It even has its own television station. You've got thousands of enlisted sailors on there.
That's Armin Kurdian, a retired U.S. Navy captain pilot who once called the ship home for 6 months.
It's got 2 nuclear reactors at the same time. You can launch aircraft. It's got 4 different catapults. The way this ship can launch and recover aircraft, it is a well-oiled machine.
According to a post from the U.S. Central Command's X account, Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps claims to have struck the USS Abraham Lincoln with ballistic missiles. But CENTCOM says that's a lie, citing that the Lincoln was not hit and that the Lincoln continues to launch aircraft in support of CENTCOM's relentless campaign to defend the American people by eliminating threats from the Iranian regime.
Iran, I think, has lost a little bit of their opportunity, because if I was them, I'd be going all out trying to take a hit on a U.S. carrier. I'm sure the idea is not something new to them, but they've wasted a lot of their combat power shooting missiles at a lot of the other Gulf states, getting them all upset about going after them. But your Californians are out there fighting a good fight, and I think we just need to support them, pray for their safe return, pray that this is over quickly.
Steffi Roche, News 8.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now, more than 450 U.S. military installations are on high alert. The Department of Defense is directing bases, including all of ours here in San Diego, to step up security. That means stricter ID checks and the temporary suspension of the Trusted Traveler program. A Northern Command spokesperson says based on world events, we must enhance vigilance to ensure the safety and security of our military personnel. And San Diego police say they are monitoring the events in the Middle East. While there are no known credible threats, thankfully, to San Diego. Police say, quote, our patrol divisions and intelligence support are mindful of our religious institutions, cultural centers, and other sensitive locations throughout the city to deter anyone who may try to create fear or harm in our city, end quote. And the State Department is warning Americans in the Middle East to get out. The U.S. says about 9,000 Americans have already been evacuated, but thousands more are still trying to find flights home. One of them is San Diegan Chad Cummins, who says he and his girlfriend were traveling the world, stopped in Dubai on their way back home just hours before the conflict began. Since then, Cummins says flights out have been repeatedly canceled, leaving many Americans stuck at hotels waiting for answers.
I've tried to buy 3 different tickets on Emirates to get out of here on each day, and you can buy the ticket, but then you get the notice, the next day that's canceled.
Yeah, Cummins says the mood among Americans there is tense, with many families still hoping to find a way home. Well, now to an update. San Diego County will file a lawsuit this week against the Department of Homeland Security and Secretary Kristi Noem. Supervisors say the Trump administration failed to respond to their request for a health inspection of the Otay Mesa Detention Center. This comes after they were denied entry last month. Supervisors Tara Lawson-Remer and Paloma Aguirre say they were initially given permission by ICE, but they were denied access after the government claimed they did not follow protocol by requesting access at least 7 days in advance. That is a new policy, but the supervisors say they did follow that requirement. We'll keep you posted. And a former San Diego County Sheriff's deputy has been convicted in federal court for the fatal shooting of an unarmed man outside of the San Diego Central Jail. A jury found Aaron Russell guilty of violating Nicholas Bill's civil rights in the May 2020 shooting. Prosecutors say Bill slipped out of handcuffs and was running away when Russell shot him multiple times. Russell was the only officer at the scene to fire his weapon. A previous federal trial ended in a hung jury. He is set to be sentenced in May. And we are learning UC San Diego will end its affiliation with wellness guru Deepak Chopra this June. This comes after recently released Epstein files revealed Chopra and Jeffrey Epstein exchanged hundreds of messages. In a statement, the university said Chopra's association with Epstein was, quote, regrettable. Chopra is currently a voluntary clinical professor at the university. Chopra says he was never involved in nor participated in any criminal conduct related to Epstein. And right now, the empty homes tax in the city of San Diego is moving forward and will be on the June ballot. If approved, owners would pay $8,000 starting in 2027 and then rising to $10,000 the following year. This impacts only second homes that are left empty for more than half the year. Corporate-owned vacant homes would actually pay even more. There was a lot of public comment. You can find that on CBS8.com. If voters approve it, the tax would take effect January 1st, with those first bills due in 2028. Still ahead, measles sadly on the rise in California. We'll hear from a local doctor about how you can stay safe. Plus, new effort to get rid of trash fees in the city of San Diego. What is being done and when that fee could disappear if approved. Thanks so much for staying with us as we continue to take you around San Diego. Right now, the city of Chula Vista has a new acting police chief. Current chief Roxana Kennedy remains on leave. Assistant Chief Dan Peak is now leading the department. The city says Kennedy requested to extend her leave of absence, which was granted. Kennedy has been on a medical leave since the end of January. It comes as she claims the city is trying to force her into retirement and is using an incident at a December holiday party as justification. The city denies those allegations. In a statement, Kennedy's attorney says, quote, Chief Kennedy established a chain of command that includes Dan Peak to carry out her duties during her absence. No date has been announced for her potential return. You are listening to Reaction after San Diego Unified approved layoffs. The district voted to eliminate 221 classified positions, which includes workers like custodians and cafeteria workers. 88 of those are currently vacant, and the district predicts that they may be able to reassign about half of the employees working in positions slated for elimination. The state requires school districts to issue preliminary layoff notices by March 15th. And the San Diego County Board of Supervisors just approved an ordinance that will allow for the separate sale of accessory dwelling units, also known as granny flats. This takes effect in 30 days now. This change means homeowners can sell their ADUs as condos and aligns with the county and the state law that took effect in 2024. The goal is to make more affordable housing in the county. And right now, there is a new proposed ballot measure to repeal the city of San Diego's controversial trash fees, The Lincoln Club Business League and former Mayor Kevin Faulconer are collecting signatures to get this on the ballot. Measure B, approved by voters in 2022, allowed the city to start charging for trash service. The fees were originally estimated at $23 to $29 a month, but after revisions by the city, the cost rose to as much as $47 a month. If eventually approved, fees would be rolled back in 2027. And again, California health leaders are warning the public about 2 measles outbreaks in the state this year, the first since 2020. Working for you, News 8's Alex Cheney talked with San Diego County public health leaders and a doctor from Rady Children's Hospital about what you need to know to stay safe.
That way.
Dr. Mark Beatty is an infectious disease expert for San Diego County Public Health. He says the last measles case in San Diego County was August of last year when an international traveler returned home infected with measles.
The county was able to track down and reach out to as many people as we were aware that this person had exposed. And that's what we do with every case. It can involve tracking down hundreds of people, but that's what public health is here for.
On the California Department of Public Health website, they list 21 confirmed measles cases in the state this year. An outbreak in January with 12 cases in Los Angeles, Napa, Orange, Riverside, San Mateo, and Shasta counties. And in February, another 9 cases in LA and Shasta counties. A doctor tells me the best way to stay safe from the measles:
getting immunized. Thank you, Alex, for asking.
Dr. John Bradley is the medical director of infectious diseases for Rady Children's Hospital. He says getting the measles vaccine is the best way to keep you and your family safe from the measles.
If you're immunized, your chances of getting the disease are low, and getting serious disease are virtually zero.
Common measles symptoms include a high fever, cough, runny nose, red eyes, and most notably a rash that can appear 3 to 5 days after exposure.
You really feel bad. Muscles ache, eyes are bright red, throat hurts, in addition to the rash that everyone knows about.
County Public Health says patients typically present to their doctor with symptoms, and then the county gets involved, and says they're actively monitoring cases.
Even now, we're testing cases of kids with fevers and rashes to make sure it's not measles.
I'm Alex Cheney, News 8.
Alex, appreciate it. Stay healthy, my friends. Coming up, a recent warm-up in weather is leading to an increase in snake sightings. We are working for you, talking with experts about what you need to know to stay safe. Welcome back. Right now, an online tool could help San Diego renters. Who's Your Landlord is a website aimed at helping people know what they are signing up for before signing that lease. That includes data on how maintenance is handled, property and unit conditions, plus comments and complaints about specific landlords. The creator designed it while he was in college.
If someone takes your security deposit and doesn't give it back, well, for a student, that's thousands of dollars that could have gone to books, that could have gone to your next month's rent, that could have gone to your tuition.
Yeah, if you want to check that website, we do have a link on CBS8.com. And hey, if you went to the UTC Mall this week, you may have noticed parking went up. The mall cut its free parking from 2 hours down to 1, and shoppers are starting to change their plans because of it. After 1 hour, parking will cost $2 an hour until the daily maximum of $15 is reached. A lost ticket will also cost you $15. A spokesperson for UTC tells News 8 that several stores will continue to validate parking. That includes the AMC movie theater, Season 52, and the UTC ice rink, as well as 24-hour fitness.
It's pretty convenient for me to park there in the morning since I have 8 a.m. classes, and 2 hours for free is really nice to have. So I typically drive nearby. I park there for maybe like an hour and a half, and then I go to class, I come back. Or it's free from 0 to 1. Anything after an hour is $2. It kind of like incentivizes me to not park there anymore.
We did ask about a reason for this change. In a statement, a spokesperson for UTC told News 8 it would improve guest experience and said in part, quote, "This update supports ongoing parking enhancements and improves parking availability throughout the day by making access more predictable." And right now, the city of Escondido is one step closer to regulating its sidewalk vendors through a permit process. Under this proposal, vendors would be required to get business licenses and a city permit or face penalties. The process to develop this program started in 2022 and is beginning to move forward now.
Hand, you've got people who just want street vending banned entirely, and on the other hand, there's a decent amount of people who think it should just be the Wild West, but I think that this lands kind of in the sweet spot.
Yeah, if passed, this new permit process would go into effect in January of next year. Well, following a recent warm-up across San Diego County, more hikers are reporting that snakes are also hitting the trails. I saw a huge rattler just the other day. So what do you do if you come across a snake in the wild? Working for you, we spoke with snake wrangler Bruce Ireland. He says his company was twice as busy this February than last year, with 43 calls for free snake rescue and relocation for free. Once again, that's amazing. He says if you see a snake while on a hike, don't bother it, just walk around it. It's also important then to warn other hikers nearby.
Don't touch, don't bother, don't throw rocks, don't try to hit it. What I always tell people, if you're on a hike and you pass a snake, as you keep going on your hike, if you see other hikers coming, especially if they have dogs, give them a heads up that there's a snake on the trail. That way they're not going to inadvertently surprise it.
Yeah, Ireland says with changing weather patterns, there's no real snake season, and you should always be aware of your surroundings when on a trail. And yeah, our weather has been incredible. Still ahead, new life for La Jolla's graffiti-covered mushroom house. We'll show you the cleanup efforts underway. Well, this is one of San Diego's most recognizable and mysterious coastal landmarks. The so-called Mushroom House overlooking Black's Beach in La Jolla has become something of an urban legend and lately a canvas for graffiti and vandals. News 8's Brian White shows us the new efforts underway to clean it up.
Some say it looks out of this world, a UFO or spaceship from Star Wars, but it got its nickname for a reason. What does it look like to you?
Like a big, mushroomy house shooting out of the cliff.
Tucked away along the rocky coastline near Black's Beach, the Mushroom House, a little strange, is a sight to see.
It's something you might see in like a desert landscape, but you're coming around the corner and suddenly it's, it's a beautiful surprise.
The Bell Pavilion, as it was originally called, was built as a guest house for Sam Bell of General Mills in the 1960s. But a bluff failure in 2020 damaged the tram system that connects it to the main house on the cliff above. Since then, it's become a magnet for graffiti and vandalism. This picture was taken in January by Mike McCormack. He's a board trustee on the La Jolla Shores Association.
To see it become really an internationally known spot through social media and then vandalized is disappointing. It became a curious nuisance.
We made the trek out there at low tide to see the new cleanup efforts underway. Crews painting over graffiti, and they've boarded up windows and entrances. Current owner Buzz Woolley hired GDC Construction to upkeep the property and keep trespassers out. They allowed us to take a look inside. The walls littered with spray-painted graffiti, and the kitchen here in obvious disrepair.
Here used to be the bathroom, but now it's completely gutted and full of graffiti. And here used to be the old shower.
Cleanup crews have hauled out much of the trash and debris from inside using electric wheelbarrows to move 600-pound loads across the beach. It's all part of a new proactive approach to maintaining the property.
It's going to be a battle with the graffiti artists that the word doesn't get out to 100% of the people. It's only a fraction. Over time it might stop. And as long as it's not occupied, I don't see how it's going to be any different.
I spoke with the vice president of GDC in charge of the cleanup. He says they're doing everything they can to keep people from trespassing, and he says anyone who does could be arrested. In La Jolla, Brian White, News 8.
Yes, so unique in San Diego. Let's do better. Before we leave you, spectacular images are still pouring into our newsroom after this week's blood moon. From professional photographers to amateurs with cell phones, San Diegans across the county captured this celestial moment. In North County, the South Bay, and East County, even with clouds in the way for some, I myself set that alarm for 3 a.m. and the clouds were in the way for me. I never saw it. I did try, but for so many, we got these just absolutely incredible pictures of this lunar eclipse. So yeah, I hope you got a good look at it between around 3 and 4 a.m. All right, well, that will do it for us. Thank you so much for your time. As always, thank you for staying informed. For News 8, I'm Jenny Day. Take such good care.